What's up, everybody? It's Lethal back with another Madden video. Today I'm going over the Madden 21 beta. As you can see, I played it the last few days and I want to give my full thoughts and opinions, alright? Everybody that's played so far probably has already come out with a video, but you cannot have a true assessment of the beta or the game in general by playing it one or two times. Typically what happens, people get the beta, they play 2 or 3 games O-line, and they already have their assessment of the game. The game is really good, I like this, I like that. The game is bad, they don't play defense, this is too overpowered. You cannot have a full assessment of a game by playing 3 or 4 games. If you lost the few games that you played and you wasn't trying to test anything, you was just out there trying to win, you really cannot give a fair assessment of the game. Alright? The things you want to test is, does the cheese work from Madden 20? Does it still work in Madden 21? Did they fix an issue with blocking? Did they fix an issue of people guarding 2 or 3 plays with one user? Did they fix the issue of nano blitzing? The things that people really want to know about the game, that's what I'm here to give you. Alright, so if you're new to my channel, please hit that sub button. I currently have 6 subscribers, alright? Now, I had a YouTube channel before this, but I started completely over because I really wanted to focus on Madden content. Now, I'm still going to show some NBA 2K gameplay because those are only 2 games I really play for real, but I started over to really strictly focus on Madden. I have thought about going pro, but I'm going to take my time with it and see how this YouTube thing work out first. Now, going into Madden 21 beta and the gameplay, today I'm going to go over some offensive things, some defensive things, and what I feel like they really need to improve to make the game better. Alright, so sit back, relax, and hopefully y'all enjoy the video. First thing I want to start off with is offense and the run game. As we all know, the run game in Madden 20 was completely overpowered. Alright, whether you play MUT, head-to-head, franchise, didn't matter. If you can get a very fast running back, didn't really matter the overall. You get a very fast running back, you can pretty much dominate the game by run. Now, me, I am a runner, but I can drop back and pass the ball just as well because I can just read the coverage and I know where to beat the coverage at. But for anybody that's like me who typically will run the ball all game, in Madden 21, from my beta experience, you probably not going to like it too much. Alright, if the only thing you know was to be a one-trick pony, run a couple of run plays that always broke off in one-play touchdowns, that's not going to fly in Madden 21. This is a good thing. Alright? In trying to keep the game balanced, realistically in football, this is just honest to God truth, you're always going to have more passing yards than you are rushing yards. Alright? If you look at all the games and all the history of the NFL, yes, people do have a very talented running back that typically is going to get 100 yards. But your quarterback is probably going to throw for 300 yards. That's typically the ratio. Your quarterback throw for 300, your running back rush for 100. That's a recipe for success on offense. So in Madden 21, you can still get 100 yards rushing, but you're not going to get 300, 400, 500 yards rushing just by running to the outside or breaking up the middle every single play. Alright? Running backs typically get tired after 2 or 3 plays. This is realistic. Alright? It forces you to sub in an extra running back if you don't want to take a big hit and possibly fumble. It forces you to pass the ball a lot more. Alright? Which a lot of people have been complaining about the whole time for 20. It's not enough passing. This is so boring. People don't pass the ball. Now, my response to that, in a game where there's nano blitzes, all out blitzes. People can play man coverage, press down, especially if you play MUT where everything is 99 speed and everybody can guard everybody. It does not make sense that the meta would be passing. It just doesn't make sense. If you blitz or you play dime looks all game, it makes sense to run the ball. So in Madden 21, I think they definitely did a good job of forcing people to play more traditional defenses like 3-4, 4-3. And they did a better job of stopping the run. Now, with that being said, the only way you're going to get a one-play touchdown is to run directly up the middle past the safeties. You're not going to beat anybody to the outside. Your wide receivers are not going to hold the blocks long enough, and your O-line definitely is not going to sprint up the field that far. It's just not going to happen. Alright, that's the honest to God truth. So, one play everybody tends to do is the wing Z tight, alright, or they do the 2-out form. Those are typically the 2 run plays. I know towards the end of the year everybody used their near close flex or whatever, but typically that wing Z that's very specialized by the YouTuber Black Rain, that play is not going to be nearby as effective as it was in Madden 20. Alright? The reason being, when you motion people, especially when you motion somebody in the block, instead of the defender beating you to the spot like it did in Madden 20, which is very unrealistic. In Madden 20, they do what is called like a shadow effect, where the receiver will motion first, and then the DB will shadow and drag across him after the wide receiver is moved. Alright. This really helps in the run game. It slows down that particular run I'm talking about. And it helps contain the outside pretty well. Like I said, the blocking on that game, they only block enough to get you the yards that you're going to get. They're not going to block you all the way down the field and spring you for a one-play touchdown, because it's very unrealistic to honestly get to the side and I always score a one-play touchdown. Typically, sideline to sideline, the corners and safeties are going to get there and make the play. Like I said, you can still frustrate somebody by getting little yards here and there, 3 here, 3 there, but they're really forcing you to pass the ball, which brings me to the next point of passing. Madden 21, based off the beta, is a passer's dream, alright? I like it for several reasons. One, you cannot sit back and zone. I don't care how many adjustments you make. Alright? Every quarterback has enough speed to where escape artists is not necessary, which is a lot more realistic, because if a quarterback sees a lane to take off and pick up the first down, they're going to take it. They're not going to slowly walk to it like they did in Madden 20, and then once they pass the line of scrimmage, they're going to speed up. No, realistically, as soon as they see the opening, they take off. Alright? So for those of you guys who only defense is cover for a drop show 2, good luck. Alright? Passing the ball has a lot of different things to it. From my experience playing the beta, when you pass the ball, you have to pass it based off the route and distance at which your receiver ran. Alright? You're not going to just chuck bombs down the field with Patrick Mahomes the way you could in Madden 20, which is, like, I love Patrick Mahomes. I do, but that is so unrealistic. So unrealistic. Alright? You're realistically not going to be able to sit there, do PA post shot all game, and Mahomes is going to put the same zip on the ball every single time. It's just not going to happen. I like this feature. Some people are going to complain about it, especially passers. Now, even though it's a passer's dream, this is where, passers typically will have that problem. Arm power. You cannot sit there and throw the ball deep every single play. Alright? Possibly if you get bazooka and get activated, maybe. I didn't really test that part of it. I was very precise with my throws, because like I keep telling you guys, I'm a runner. But it's nice to know that If you make the right read, you find your open target, you can hit them. They're going to hold on to the ball, and you're going to pick up your yards. Like, it's very offensive friendly, in which case football should be. It's very hard to play defense, the full game by just sitting in one coverage, and you telling me professional quarterbacks cannot find some way to beat it. It's just very unrealistic. All right, moving on to the defense, because I believe I went over escape artist. It's not as overpowered. Your throw power changes based off of time and distance. All right, pass blocking. Before we move on in the defense, pass blocking. In my opinion, the pass blocking is what it is. Like, from the clips and everything that you see leading up to the beta, you probably have seen a lot of overpowered defensive animations. All right, like you see people coming off the edge, you see people get up the middle with power. That's all they've been advertising. And this year you can actually play on the D line, all right, and make a play. Offensive blocking, it was decent enough if you know what you're doing as far as making a read. All right, they're not gonna hold forever. I do not believe that trash defensive linemen are just beating good offensive linemen. I don't believe that for 1 second. I believe that if you know what you're doing, you make your reads, you set up your throws, you're going to be able to find a good target. One thing about passing this year, you're going to be able to get the ball out your hands. Whether it's a good play, a bad play, doesn't matter. You're going to be able to get the ball out your hands, which was a big complaint by a lot of people. If I see this blitzer coming in and I'm going to make a quick read, I want to be able to throw that ball. You don't have to worry about that. This year you'll be able to. One thing that is a plus for offensive linemen, nano blitzes have been toned down a lot. So whereas you drop back and, gun and people want to do that cover 2 sink, because I did it a lot, the O-lineman actually picks it up. That's something I know a lot of you guys want to know. The O-lineman will pick it up. If somebody wants to run mid-blitz on you, they're not going to be able to hit you. You're going to be able to get the ball off. All right, now, if you typically just can't find a read, yeah, you possibly take a sack. But whatever play you're trying to make, throwing the ball, you're going to be able to make that play. All right? And because of the no lurker ability, which as we move into defense, that's the first thing I'm going to go over. It just favors somebody that likes to drop back and pass the ball. Like, you see a read, you see somebody burn somebody, you put the right touch and the right pass on there, you're going to complete it. That's cool. That's good in my opinion. Defense, lurking, is gone. All right, even if you have the ability, it's gone. EA, please leave it the way it is. Give people time to adjust to the way it is instead of just listening to a bunch of complaints talking about, I should be able to pick that. I saw this coming. I should have been able to get that. First of all, in real life, all right, you're typically only going to pick off the ball when the ball is thrown in your vicinity and area, pretty much directly, like the quarterback was meaning to throw you the ball. Or, in other cases, if the ball gets tipped up in the air and you're able to make a play underneath it. All right? Other than that, you're not going to be a middle linebacker who has enough speed to play as deep as a safety and be fast enough to come up and stop something as short as a dig route. You're not going to jump the dig, the mid, and the deep route all in one play just because you got 90 speed. That is so unrealistic. Anybody that, lives off of that, I'm sorry. Become a better, football head. Become a better strategist and stop depending on EA to bail you out with bullshit. One thing they did very well at the beginning of Madden 20 was they took linebackers and stopped allowing them to pick off everything. Typically you had to have a safety or a corner in that spot to pick the ball off. Instead of, like I said, the linebacker roaming and lurking things by himself. Now, of course, this kind of changed midway through the year, especially in MUT, where you can give that linebacker lurker ability, and then he was able to do the same thing he'd been doing since Madden 18 and 19. But it's unrealistic. I've never liked the game where, I'm trying to drop back to pass the ball, and you took out this route, and this route, giving time for the people who's actually chasing them to catch up, and still getting pressure to the quarterback by rushing 3 people. I have always hated that. If you rush 3 people at a quarterback in real life, they're going to fold those guys into the middle, giving the quarterback a million seconds to throw the ball. It's very unrealistic to rush 3 and get pressure. It's very unrealistic. Even if somebody wins off the edge, the quarterback is going to step up in the pocket, and then they're still going to get into a part where they can fold 3 people to the middle. All right, and like I said, one thing I like, the nano blitz, where you send somebody to the outside on that contain and they just run around the offensive lineman like the offensive lineman isn't smart enough to see it, so they pick it up. That's going. You have to be precise of what defense you're trying to play, and you have to adjust based off what the offensive player is doing. That is realistic football. So EA, for the life of me, do not change this. Leave it the way it is. Let people adjust to your game. At the end of the day, if you play Madden and you're a loser, you losing all the time, you're going to hate the game. Alright? If you play Madden and you win all the time, you're only going to complain about the people you lose to. Alright? Typically when you're playing the game, this is just how everybody is. You playing and you play a close game against somebody. I mean like a dog fight is a sweat game. If you win that game, the other person automatically sucks. He's trash. The game shouldn't have been that close. Alright? The person on the losing end. This game sucks. That dude's game is trash. All he want to do is cheese the game all day. That's typically how it's going to go, and there's no way around that. You can't please everybody in a game where there are winners and losers. It's impossible. Alright? For one person experience, they might like the nano blitz because they say, oh, it's realistic. I'm fast enough to run around them. Realistically, no, that does not happen. An old lineman is smart enough to see you doing that, change his protection, and he's going to throw a corner out the way and help and double team somewhere else when it's needed. That's not realistic football. Especially from a user standpoint where I can see that's what you're doing. I'm telling them to pick it up, and they still run around and get the sack. That's trash. So if you live by cover 2 sync in Madden 20, you're going to get torched in Madden 21. Alright, the zones. I'm fine with the zones the way they are. Most people have been complaining that, the DBs dumb out too much. They don't react to anything. I'm fine with the zones. Like I said, this year is designed for you to play a lot more man coverage. So be it. Play more man coverage. Like I said, the only thing you should be doing while playing is adjusting based off what the offensive player is doing. It should not be a thing where he comes out in this formation, so I'm a match with this formation and I know it's going to stop it every single time like it was in Madden 20. In Madden 20, I got to the point where no matter what offense they came out in, I already knew the defense to counter it. And vice versa. No matter what defense they came out in, I already knew which way to run the ball to counter it. It should not be like that. Alright, it should be a chess match throughout the entire game. You should want to pass the ball more because it's more realistic to do so, and it makes people better Madden players. Alright, I played against somebody that came out in pistol the whole time. Pistol is a very difficult formation to stop. Why? Because you have the threat of running and passing. It's difficult to stop. But you catch them, you make them make a couple of mistakes here, a couple of mistakes there. You change the game around. You don't complain that he's doing something you can't stop. You find some defense for it, stop it, and then you're going to score on the other end. Alright? Now, from my experience playing online, I played against people that mainly just sit back and pass the ball because, as I said, it's hard to run it. Now, me, I still had success running the ball because I stuck to my same scheme. For everybody else that I played, though, that passed, like, I had made about 3 people quit playing Madden 21, and I'm pretty sure they're the ones that will go on YouTube and tell you that it's a bad game. I haven't lost online. I did lose to the computer playing on all Madden, where I was mainly testing out some things, which I do have the gameplay I would love to show y'all. I was using Tampa Bay. I was playing against the Falcons on all Madden. I got beat a lot because I pressed down in man coverage, and if you user press a defender, you're going to get beat for 6. Alright, there's no way, like I said, in the open field, the offensive players are faster, especially on all Madden. You know, on all Madden, you know, the speed gaps gets worse and worse. So I tried that. I tried to cover 2 sink. I couldn't get pressure on the quarterback. Man blitzes work very well. You can do a combination of zone blitz if you know what you're trying to do. And like I said, it's just going to take time for everybody to adjust to the new controls. I found myself, now that I've been playing more Madden 21, I've been using the controls for there defensively, whereas in Madden 20 you have to hit L1, R1. In Madden 21 you hit R1 twice. So, you know, just adjusting to the different game mechanics makes the experience what it is. What I feel like they can fix, like I said, I like the lurk ability. One thing I never liked about Madden, you know, and this is just me, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I do feel on one hand, if somebody is running the same play and you refuse to adjust your defense, then I do expect similar success. Not the same one every time. Like, if I'm getting a 1-play touchdown running the ball with this same play every single time and you're sitting in the same defense, I expect similar success. I do not expect the 1-play touchdown every single time. I never liked in Madden where somebody can come out and run the same exact play over and over and over again and constantly beat you with the same routes. I've never understood that about Madden. In real football, once you see somebody continuously doing the same thing, you're going to start to cheat it. You know, you're going to force the other team to do something different. So people have been complaining about the Earl Thomas ability. Why? It's realistic that if somebody's doing the same thing and you notice it because you study film, that you'll be able to be like, look, man, you done did this 3 times in a row and you're lining up in the same formation. When the play starts, you're doing the same route patterns. You're going to jump those things and force the quarterback to hold the ball longer. That's just the honest to God truth. So if there's anything I feel like they can fix, is 1, defensive IQ, 2, physicality based off size. One thing I always hated about Madden that I never understood is how they favor speed over physicality. Meaning like a 5, for example, Tyreek Hill is very fast and can get open because of his speed, is a way bigger threat than somebody like, let's say like a 6'5" wide receiver who's just a big target. And they can't catch on like 5'10" running backs. I've never understood that. I'm not saying they need to catch every single pass aggressively. But if I throw a stop and go route or something, or an in route, or just something where I'm using a big body target against smaller DBs, I don't understand why they never been able to catch and hold on to the ball. That's pretty much what they're out there for. They're not going to burn somebody deep down the field. So they have to be effective in their own way. I never understood how a tight end couldn't catch on linebackers or safeties too much. let alone a corner. You know, if I line up Gronkowski to the outside and y'all put a corner on Gronk, I should just be able to throw the ball to him, and by pure size, he should come down with it. Especially if there's no double team. You know, physicality in sports is one thing sports games always seem to lack. They desperately lack it in 2K. They've been lacking it in Madden for some years now. So, those are the only things I feel like they really need to fix. You know, overall should matter over speed. Awareness should matter over acceleration. You know, like if I got Julio Jones, let's say he was like 93 speed. Just because you put a 97 speed guy on him should not shut down Julio Jones. He should literally catch over him every single time. You know, that's realistic. One thing about playing the beta, I was using the Chiefs, and Julio Jones was catching one-on-one passes on people that wasn't as good. Like I had Sorensen out there as a safety who was in the right position and everything. Julio is just a better player, so he came down with the ball. I had no problems with that whatsoever. It would piss a lot of people off, but I'm trying to tell you, it's more realistic. No, overalls should matter. More than speed, more than acceleration. Like awareness should matter. You know, strength should matter. Like physical attributes should matter. Overall should matter. That's all I got from this video. Next time I put out a video, I expect to put out Madden 21 beta gameplay. If you like the information I share, please hit that like button. Again, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. I'm trying to grow as a YouTuber. I will be putting out a lot of content. And I want to be better than what I was last time. Like I said, last time I got to 2K and kind of quit grinding. Like 2K subs and I quit grinding. This time, I'm trying to be more consistent on the uploads. I'm trying to give you guys the information that you want. Like I tell you guys at the end of every video, it's been lethal. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.